Hi, my name is Tommy, and I will be discussing about the United States government response to COVID-19. It should be a very interesting topic, so let's go. COVID-19, also known as coronavirus, is still very new to scientists and has said to be originated from Wuhan, China. Science shows that COVID-19 first emerged in Wuhan, China in about November of 2019, but by February 2020, when it's become a serious issue, the world recognizes that it has spread all over the world. The world descended into chaos when COVID-19 spread globally, and it caused many countries like South Korea, Italy, and China itself to go into a national lockdown. With that being said, multiple different countries around the world has detected COVID-19 before the United States have detected their first case, which would have meant that they would have had time to prepare for a massive pandemic over the country. Based on our world and data, if the United States had the same death rate as Canada, almost 109,000 Americans would not have died from COVID-19. This is a good start for us to kind of start to compare first world countries to one another or democratic countries to one another, especially with the United States. Canada is a prime example since it is just as large as the United States and is in geographically the same area, yet their cases and deaths are not as high as the United States. Many countries, democratic or non-democratic, have done a lot of steps and precautions to help reduce the cases in their countries respectfully, and President Trump and his administration has not have that power to control the United States as one. For example, countries like South Korea or Vietnam requires anybody who enters the country must be taken to a government facility and be quarantined for 14 days and tested for COVID before entering the country. The citizens' reactions and obedience to their respectful countries' COVID-19 mandates also has a lot to do with how their COVID cases are. In Asian countries such as mainland China, Japan, Thailand, Vietnam, etc., people are already used to wearing the mask before COVID for their own sanitary reasons, therefore they abided to the mask mandate really easily. Whereas in the United States, Trump himself refused to wear the mask, therefore the citizens did not take the mask mandate seriously, and there's a lot of people who say that the mask infringes on their rights. President Trump also makes it a competition about the amount of numbers of tests that they have in the United States, which is hence why there are so many cases in the US compared to other countries.
People are talking about hopefully it won't be as bad as some people think it could be, but
in theory, when it gets a little warmer, it miraculously goes away. I hope that's...
Of Americans, the risk is very, very low.
You keep calling this the Chinese virus. A
Because
lot of
it
people
comes
say
from
it's
China.
racist.
It's not racist at all, no, not at all. It comes from China.
I wanted to always play it down. I still like playing it down.
Yes,
Because I don't want to create a panic.
The disinfectant, and is there a way we can do something like that by injection? Can you take it up because I cannot hear you?
I'll just speak louder, sir.
Oh, okay, good. You want to be politically correct. Good. Be today terminating our relationship with the World Health Organization. Doctors think it is extremely successful, the hydroxychloroquine.
Let's go into further depth about this. Canada's COVID cases and deaths are lower than the United States due to their strict border controls and different mandates that are strongly enforced within the government. The United States, however, has no control over their travel and who comes in and out of the borders. They also only suggest to quarantine, but never enforce the mandate to quarantine. Citizens of the United States also have various different reactions to the government's mandates and mask order. For example, the Republicans tend to oppose the mask and oppose government shutdown, as they are worried about the economic crisis and infringing on their own rights. Not only did President Trump play off the COVID-19 pandemic as not as serious, he also called the virus as Kung Flu or Chinese virus, which then inhibits and enables mass discrimination against Asian Americans in this country, and we see a rise in that hate act as well. President Trump does not take the virus seriously from the beginning, which is why the United States is at the highest rate of COVID-19 cases and deaths in the entire world. Had he taken this seriously and not enabled all the hate crimes and enforced all the mask mandates strictly, we wouldn't have been able to be at this high. Even though countries are different all over the world in population and how they handle it, there is no doubt that President Trump could have done a better job at handling the coronavirus.